guys, welcome back for another cooking lesson with me. I'm Talia, founder of Workweek Lunch. Thank you so much for being here, and tonight we are going to learn how to make snacks, meal prepping snacks for the week. It's one of my favorite things to do. I always do it Mondays. Let's get started. So the first thing we're going to do is make banana muffin. Muffins are one of my favorite things to prep for the work week. They're filling. You can eat them for breakfast, snack, dessert, whatever. They freeze well. And of course you can make endless variations of muffins. We've got our mashed up banana here. It was frozen, but it's not frozen anymore. We've got 1/3 of a cup of milk, 1/2 cup of butter, melted, 1/2 cup of sugar, because we're not scared of sugar, but you can use maple syrup, honey, or agave, and an egg. And those are our wet ingredients. Just gonna mix them right up. Next, we got to do the dry ingredients. So here is 2 types of flour. We have whole wheat and white flour, but of course you can just use whole wheat, you can use white, you can use gluten-free all-purpose. And then in here I have a teaspoon of cinnamon, a pinch of salt, a teaspoon of baking powder, and 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda. Get that all in here. So these take like about 20 minutes to bake, that's why I'm speeding through this, but we'll talk about how to meal prep muffins more in a little bit. Okay, so now we gotta combine these two. I am all about adding, I'm just gonna do it this way. Okay, one big mistake to avoid here is over mixing, because then you'll end up with really dense and dry, hard muffins. So I'm using a spatula, right, which is the ideal thing to mix with. And I'm just going to mix until it's there. I just see no more flour, and then I'm going to stop. And of course, we're not going to forget chocolate chips, the most important ingredient. Tell me in the comments, what are your favorite muffins to make? I'm always looking for new flavors, so pop them down there. Gorgeous. So that's what we're looking for. See, just mixed. Got to fold in the chocolate chips. I have 1/4 of a cup here. All right, quick fold of the chocolate chips. I've already greased it with some cooking spray. And don't worry, my hands are clean. I just wash them. Gotta wash your hands, guys. We're gonna add 1/4 of a cup of muffin batter. See, these are really quick. Of course, I prepped the ingredients a little bit before I got on here, but it takes 30 minutes to get these done. And that is well worth it. And while they're baking, I like to make a ton of other snacks, which we're gonna get into. I would love to hear from you guys. What are some snacks you love, whether they're store-bought or homemade? Tell me in the comments. Snacks that you're really into. I mean, who doesn't love snacking? Right now, I'm really into hummus, which I'm gonna talk about. Popcorn, make that every week. And what else do I like? I mean, fruit, always snack on some fruit. Crunchy and fresh, which I love. Here is what we're working with. I don't know why I always end up with like one empty well here, but we're gonna pop these in the oven for like 18 minutes, and we're gonna talk about the rest of the snacks. So popcorn, you need a pot. This is 1/3 of a cup of kernels. I use a brand called Jolly Time. You can find kernels like this near the popcorn, the microwave popcorn in the grocery store. Yeah, so this is 1/3 of a cup. I'm going to put this in the pot with oil. This is avocado oil. You can also use vegetable oil. You want to use something with a high smoke point because things like butter and olive oil will just burn. This can handle a high temperature. So I'm going to pour in olive oil. It's just over a tablespoon. And I can see that the pan is already pretty hot. And I'm going to add just a few kernels as like testers. And I'm gonna cover it. So once these little tester guys have popped, I'm gonna add in the rest with some salt. I do have a recipe for popcorn coming out this week in the Workweek Lunch Meal Prep program for members. So if you want that, you gotta sign up in my bio link. We have a free trial, by the way. If you're not ready to commit, you can totally do that. Let's add in the rest. This is very quick. Okay, that one in. And a bunch of salt, more salt. So now what we have to do is let the popcorn pop, and we have to shake the pan as it pops to make sure that the kernels that haven't popped yet fall to the bottom of the pan and the pop ones stay on top. So I have this on high heat. It's also really important to get a bowl ready, a really big bowl ready over here to dump the popcorn in once it's done. Shaken. You can let a little bit of air into the pot too. That helps. Which I'm doing right now. We obviously don't want any kernels to fly out. And so 1/3 of a cup, which is what we used, will get me about 4 jarfuls of popcorn. So you basically want to just pop it until it slows down, kind of like microwave popcorn, right? You can hear when it slows down when you know it's done. I think we're done. Okay, I don't want it to burn. So now we gotta dump it. I have my bowl here ready to go. Okay, so now it's in this bowl and you have to start seasoning it right away. I like to season my popcorn with nutritional yeast. This is Bragg's nutritional yeast. It's like one of the first times I'm using it, and I've used it a few times already. I like it. Usually I get Trader Joe's nutritional yeast. So you just add a bunch, and a lot of it will fall to the bottom. Okay, I haven't figured out how to make it stick. You do not want to add oil to popcorn unless you plan on eating it right away, because it will get soggy and weird. So we're just expecting a lot of this to fall off, but some of it will stay. It needs more salt as usual. I like really salty popcorn. And I'll show you how to repurpose what falls on the bottom here. It tastes so good. I've tested this a few times, and honestly, salt is the one thing that seems to make most sense when you're popping it, and then you can add some more seasoning after. I've tried doing this with other spices like curry powder and chili powder and stuff, but it always gets a little weird, the texture. So that's why nutritional yeast seems to be the safest in terms of seasoning popcorn. So once you're done popping it, it's really important that you let it cool completely before you put it in any jars, because that's another way it gets kind of soggy and weird. So I'm just gonna put it aside. So let's check on these muffins down here. Okay, they look pretty good. Not done yet though. Another really common thing to prep for snacks are raw veggies. So in here, I have celery that I chopped over the weekend. It's sitting in water, and this helps keep it really like crispy and fresh. It won't get all, you know, bendy and like soft. Okay, so I'm gonna peel some carrots for snacking, and I'm gonna show you how to peel a carrot because this is the way I learned in cooking class. It's really, really efficient. Ready? Ready for this? You wanna start at the top, just go like this, and turn. Super easy and efficient way of peeling carrots. And guess what, guys? We are gonna save these for veggie stock. So I'm gonna basically chop some of these for snacking with hummus. So I make hummus pretty much every week. You can do it in 4 ingredients: chickpeas, salt, water, and tahini. That is all you need for hummus. Anything that's like a spread, a dip that you like, guacamole, salsa, these are things you could just make at home. You definitely don't need to buy them if you don't want to. If you have the time to make them, and of course the right ingredients available to you, those are things that you can prep yourself. Hummus it keeps in the fridge. If you make it yourself, it keeps in the fridge for like a week, you know, if it can last that long before you eat it all. And I can't remember the last time I bought hummus, and homemade tastes so much better. It's kind of insane. So I'm going to chop these up and put them in this container here. Gotta chop off just a little bit of the end. You don't want to take off too much. And I'm going to cut it in half like this. This is a very slidey, slippery cutting board. It's not safe. It's a little better. A towel will help you not have an accident. And then I'm going to fill it out with water. That's it. I made 3 snacks in this 20-minute period. Okay, it does not take long to chop up some veggies, make some muffins, pop some popcorn, you know, prep your fruit, do whatever you gotta do. You know, I also snack on grapes, apples, bananas, citrus fruits, like grapefruit. You don't really need to prep those, but they're good to have on hand. So here are my carrots. I'm going to add some water. Go on this sink over here. It's so dirty in here, guys, I'm sorry. Oh, that's hot water. I want to add cold water, and this will keep it crispy. Keeping it crispy. We're not quite done in there, but it's 7:22, so I'm gonna bounce. I hope that you guys really enjoyed this video and learned a little bit about prepping snacks, why you should do it. Again, well, we didn't really talk about why you should do it, but I will say, if you can't meal prep full meals, at least snacks will help you between meals. You won't be like searching your cupboards and looking in the fridge, looking for answers, when all you really need is a snack. Thanks for being here, guys. Mwah. Bye.